Through the AFP Modernization program, especially through Horizon 3, we are investing in responsive and up-to-date assets and systems to ensure that our Navy remains a formidable force in the region.
We will have submarines in our inventory because we are an archipelago. We need all types of assets that could protect the archipelago, and submarines are one of them.
On May 25th, 2025, the Philippine Air Force, PAF, marked a significant leap in its maritime defense capabilities with the official arrival of its first ATR-72 600 MPA maritime patrol aircraft delivered from Italy via Phuket, Thailand. This advanced platform, equipped with cutting-edge surveillance systems, including radar, electro-optical sensors, and signals intelligence, SIGINT gear, is set to transform the country's maritime domain awareness, MDA. Integrated with the National Coast Watch Center, the aircraft enables real-time data transmission to command centers ashore, offering unprecedented situational awareness across the vast waters of the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, EEZ. The ATR-72-600 MPA, built on Leonardo's proven airframe and enhanced with Elbit Systems ELI 3360 MPA mission suite, is designed for long-range maritime patrol, capable of detecting small objects at distances up to 128 kilometers. Its delivery represents a key milestone under the leadership of Defense Secretary Gilbert Teodoro and aligns with the broader Horizon phase of the Armed Forces of the Philippines Modernization program.
Your role has been appreciated in all facets, not merely now as a support, a service to any other service, but as a main provider, as an essential element of national security. In terms of its newly appreciated role, the theoretical battle space, the sky, so big. And in serving also our people, the fastest way from point A to point B sometimes is by air. Right now, I see a very promising road to build up on what already has been achieved. We're entering a new phase where there is a new appreciation in the light of a more volatile world. The stronger your Air Force, the stronger the deterrent capability.
Yet, while this acquisition marks a major step forward in aerial surveillance, it also highlights a gap in the country's maritime defense architecture, the absence of an undersea capability. As tensions escalate in the West Philippine Sea, where Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militia vessels continue to conduct aggressive patrols, block resupply missions, and engage in dangerous maneuvers.
Chinese Coast Guard vessel number 21559. This is MMOB 3002. BRP Dato Sampay, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. A government vessel of the Philippines. Your unsafe maneuvers are in clear violation of your obligations for safe conduct under the 1972 International Regulations.
The need for asymmetric deterrence has never been more urgent. Recognizing this reality, Philippine defense leaders have begun accelerating efforts to acquire submarines, reclassifying them as a top-tier priority under the Horizon 3 modernization phase. "We are an archipelagic nation, so we have to have this capability," stated General Romeo Bronner Jr., Chief of Staff of the AFP during a February 2025 briefing. The move reflects a strategic recalibration, from merely observing threats from above to being able to project power and deny access beneath the waves. Submarines offer the Philippines a critical advantage: stealth and unpredictability. In a region dominated by larger navies and complex geopolitical rivalries, a submarine force could act as a powerful deterrent, complicating China's maritime calculus. To lay the groundwork, the Philippine Navy has established a dedicated study group focused on developing doctrine, operational concepts, and technical requirements for a future submarine fleet. Infrastructure upgrades, training programs, and technology transfers will be essential to ensure long-term sustainability. In a symbolic and practical step forward, the Navy recently joined the International Submarine Escape and Rescue Liaison Office, participating in Invidex Kurtaran 2025, its first multinational submarine rescue exercise hosted in Turkey. In parallel, the Philippine Navy has deepened its cooperation with the U.S. Navy, engaging in discussions on joint anti-submarine warfare exercises, uncrewed underwater systems, and training initiatives aimed at preparing Filipino sailors for next-generation naval operations. While the acquisition of the ATR 72-600 MPA enhances the Philippines' ability to monitor its vast maritime territory from the skies, it is the acquisition of submarines that may ultimately define the country's capacity to defend its sovereign interests. In a contested region where presence often dictates control, the ability to operate unseen and strike when least expected could prove to be the ultimate game changer. For the Philippines, the path to maritime security no longer ends at the surface. It must now go deeper, literally and strategically. The West Philippine Sea, a vital part of Manila's exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea, continues to be a hotbed of geopolitical tension due to China's persistent and aggressive maritime incursions. Beijing consistently disregards the 2016 international arbitral ruling that invalidated its expansive 9-line claims, intensifying its presence through gray zone tactics that fall short of armed conflict but aim to assert control. Recent incidents vividly illustrate this escalating pressure. On May 22, 2025, the Philippine Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, BFAR, accused the China Coast Guard, CCG, of firing water cannons and sideswiping a Filipino government vessel, the BRP Datu Sunday, near Sandy Cay during a marine scientific research mission. This aggressive interference, dangerous maneuvers, and illegal acts damaged the Philippine ship's port bow and smokestack, putting at risk lives of its civilian personnel, according to the BFAR. It was the first time water cannons were used against Philippine vessels, specifically near Sandy Cay. These incidents are part of a broader pattern of frequent swarming of Philippine outposts and obstruction of resupply missions. The sheer volume of Chinese vessels in the West Philippine Sea is a significant concern. As AFP Chief General Romeo Bronner Jr. stated, the number of Chinese vessels has markedly increased. From 190 vessels in 2021, now we see 286 on the average daily for the year 2024. This consistent and overwhelming presence, including by the Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militia, often referred to as Little Blue Men, serves to limit Filipino fishermen's access and assert Beijing's claims by force rather than by law. International allies, including the United States, Japan, Canada, the UK, and the EU, have condemned China's recent actions.
This is Chinese naval warship. You are approaching China's territorial waters. Please state your intention.
With U.S. Ambassador Mary Kay Carlson stating that the CCG's aggressive actions recklessly endangered lives and threatened regional stability. Historically, the armed forces of the Philippines had been primarily configured for internal security operations, dedicating significant resources to counterinsurgency and terrorism. This long-standing focus meant that external defense capabilities and equipment procurement were not given top priority. Indeed, as part of its Horizon 3 defense modernization plan introduced in 2022, Manila initially included a submarine capability, but procurement initially was not a priority. The country's defense spending historically reflected this internal orientation, with a relatively small percentage of the national budget allocated to military defense compared to other ASEAN nations like Singapore. However, the increasingly assertive actions by China in the West Philippine Sea have profoundly altered this strategic calculus, driving an urgent reevaluation of the AFP's needs. The frequent and aggressive incursions by Chinese vessels, including the use of water cannons and dangerous maneuvers against Philippine ships, have made the urgent need for subsurface capabilities strikingly clear. As AFP Chief General Romeo Bronner Jr. emphatically stated, we are an archipelagic nation. So we have to have this capability because it is extremely difficult to defend our vast maritime territory without submarines. This realization signifies a pivotal shift in the Philippines' defense strategy, recognizing that a credible deterrent against external maritime threats necessitates a significant enhancement of its naval power, particularly in the underwater domain. The Philippines' pursuit of a submarine fleet is driven by a clear understanding of its potential as a strategic deterrent, fundamentally altering the dynamics of maritime security in the West Philippine Sea. Submarines, with their stealth and endurance, would complicate Beijing's destabilizing maritime operations and offer a crucial deterrent against aggressive gray zone tactics. This is a critical factor, especially given the continuous pressure from Chinese vessels. The strategic value of submarines extends to asymmetric warfare and a sea denial strategy. The Philippines has already received the second batch of BrahMos anti-ship missile batteries from India in April 2025, with plans to acquire up to 9 additional BrahMos batteries, further solidifying this asymmetric defense posture. The Philippine Navy is actively advancing its submarine program. A dedicated study group has been established to prepare for acquisitions, initially focusing on strategic planning and doctrine development. The comprehensive program encompasses not only the acquisition of the platforms themselves, but also the essential infrastructure for basing and maintenance, as well as critical components like technology transfers and personnel training. The budget allocated for the acquisition of at least 2 modern diesel-electric submarines over the next decade, under the Re-Horizon 3 phase of the revised AFP Modernization program approved in January 2024 is significant, ranging from 80 billion Filipino pesos to 110 billion pesos, approximately $1.4 to $2 billion. 4 major international defense contractors have already submitted proposals, including France's Naval Group, which has offered its Scorpion-class submarine alongside comprehensive support packages. The Philippine Navy's commitment is also evident in its recent participation in international drills. It joined the International Submarine Escape and Rescue Liaison Office and sent a delegation to Invitex Kurtaran 2025, a multinational submarine search and rescue drill held in late April near Turkey's Aksaz naval base. The Philippines' ambitious goal of acquiring submarine capabilities is significantly enhanced by its deepening alliance with the United States, particularly through enhanced bilateral cooperation in anti-submarine warfare, ASW. This collaboration is a crucial component of Manila's broader strategy to establish a credible deterrent against increasing maritime pressure in the West Philippine Sea. Recent high-level discussions highlight this commitment. In March 2025, Philippine Navy Chief Vice Admiral Jose Ma Ambrosio Espeleta and U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Christopher Cavanaugh, Commander Submarine Group 7, met to strengthen cooperation. Their discussions specifically focused on enhancing bilateral cooperation, particularly in developing the Philippine Navy's submarine capabilities, and exploring ways the U.S. Navy could support the growth of the Philippine Navy's submarine force and improve anti-submarine warfare, ASW capabilities. This dialogue highlights a strategic move towards building the Philippines' capacity to detect and neutralize underwater threats, which is essential for protecting its vast maritime territory. Beyond high-level talks, this cooperation extends to joint development and training initiatives. The commanders' discussions in March 2025 also addressed joint exercises and the development of uncrewed underwater systems, signaling a forward-looking approach to maritime domain awareness and subsurface capabilities. Furthermore, training Philippine Navy personnel in operating uncrewed surface vessels is a key element, as evidenced by the showcasing of U.S.-developed Mantis T-12 unmanned surface vehicles at Naval Operating Base Subic during the Philippine Navy's 127th anniversary in May 2025. These autonomous systems, delivered through the U.S. Foreign Military Sales FMS program, are designed for maritime surveillance and serve as crucial training platforms. The recent Multilateral Maritime Cooperative Activity, MCA, in April 2025, involving the U.S., Philippines, and Australia, also featured communications and anti-submarine warfare exercises, further demonstrating the practical application of this strengthened partnership. The overall aim, as articulated by U.S. and Philippine officials, is to enhance interoperability and ensure a credible combat power that backs up the commitment and our promise to peace in the region. The Philippines' pursuit of submarines represents a monumental shift, marking a long-term vision for its national defense and aiming to fundamentally enhance its maritime security. Submarines are seen as a critical component for effectively defending the Philippines' vast maritime territory and exclusive economic zone, EEZ, particularly in the highly contested South China Sea. Their inherent stealth and potent strike capabilities provide a covert and formidable means to counter subsurface threats and exert influence beneath contested waters without exposing surface assets to immediate detection or interference. This capability is vital for enforcing sovereignty, deterring gray zone operations, and ensuring strategic depth in a region characterized by asymmetric threats. This acquisition reflects a clear projection of strategic intent, a long-term commitment to developing a robust, credible defense posture. It signals a proactive stance in safeguarding national interests in the contested South China Sea, moving beyond mere diplomatic protest to a more tangible deterrent. As General Romeo Bronner Jr. noted in February 2025, acquiring submarines is a dream for us. This dream is now backed by substantial financial commitment and strategic planning under the Re-Horizon 3 phase of the revised AFP Modernization Program, approved in January 2024.
Wala pang specifics yun, but we are considering that we will have submarines in our inventory in the future. Because we are an archipelago, we need really all types of assets that could protect the archipelago, and submarines are one of them.
Despite the strategic imperatives, the submarine program faces significant challenges and future prospects. The most prominent hurdle is the substantial financial investment, with an estimated 80 to 110 billion Filipino pesos, approximately $1.4 to $2 billion, allocated for the acquisition of at least 2 diesel-electric submarines. This figure includes not only the vessels themselves, but also the comprehensive development of supporting infrastructure, such as new naval bases with specialized piers, maintenance yards, and logistics depots, along with the crucial investment in human capital through extensive training for the nation's first-ever submariners. Several international defense contractors, including France's Naval Group, offering its Scorpion class, South Korea's Hanwha Ocean, offering the Jangbogo 3, and a German-Italian consortium offering the U-212 NFS, are vying for the contract, often sweetening their bids with financing plans and offers for technology transfer and local industry involvement. While the acquisition of submarines is poised to provide a significant deterrence leverage to the Philippine Navy, experts caution about the potential for further escalation in regional dynamics as the Philippines strengthens its deterrent capabilities. The strategic shift places the Indo-Pacific at a crucial juncture, balancing the need for strategic deterrence with the inherent risks of increased militarization. Thank you for tuning into our channel. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of global issues.